This is the story of a rich father's spoiled child who is so proud of his father's money that he considers others as nothing in front of him and is always immersed in club parties and debauchery. But what happens when his carefree life suddenly flips and takes him to a place where neither wealth is of any use nor any status? There, he receives a punishment that changes his thinking and identity forever. What kind of place is this, and where is it, and what is the real secret behind all this? We will see in today's entire story. So hello friends, my name is Alina, and today's story begins with Grisha, the spoiled child of a rich man in Russia, who, due to his luxurious lifestyle and pride, is always busy with parties, nightclubs, and troubling people, and considers himself so rich that he thinks others are completely ordinary in front of him. One night, after taking a girl outside a party and troubling her, Grisha was driving his luxury car at high speed when a traffic policeman stops him on the way. But Grisha's pride knew no bounds. He throws notes at the policeman as a bribe, but this policeman, instead of taking the bribe, comes in front of the car and tries to stop him. However, Grisha, without any concern, starts driving the car, causing the policeman to be badly injured. In the next scene, we see Grisha's dad, Alexander, arriving at the police station because the police had put Grisha in lockup. Alexander, who was already troubled by his son's actions, talks to his police officer friend. The officer tells him that his son has now deteriorated so much that he dragged a traffic policeman with his car, who is now admitted to the hospital. If something isn't done soon, he will one day become a very bad person. Then Alexander gets bail and gets Grisha out and angrily shouts at him. But Grisha doesn't refrain from his habits. Instead, he starts smoking a cigarette in front of his dad because he knew well that he is his dad's only heir, so they can't do anything except scold him. Troubled by his son's such insolence, Alexander leaves from there and meets his friend Annie, who is a TV producer, to reform him. Annie takes Alexander to her friend Lev, who was an expert in designing horror movie sets. Then when both of them reach Lev's house, they see that Lev is hanging from a rope, which was actually just a designed setup. He used to design such setups and devices. After that, showing a sample of his creativity, he shows Alexander a cut finger, which was actually fake. Impressed by Lev, Alexander tells him about Grisha's antics, and together with Lev, he makes a unique plan to reform his son. A few days later, when Grisha is leaving a party, he sees a truck taking away his car. Seeing this, he starts running after the truck, but then someone from behind shoots him and knocks him unconscious right there. Then the next morning, we see Grisha lying in a horse stable. Then a boy named Artem comes and throws water on him to bring him to consciousness and says, "Quickly get the horses ready, otherwise the owner will get angry." He couldn't understand what was happening and where he was. Meanwhile, a man named Avdej comes there, grabs Grisha, takes him outside and starts hitting him, saying, "Last night I told you to get the horses ready. Why didn't you do it?" Then Grisha says, "Forget about last night. I am seeing you for the first time in my life." Just then, the landlord of this village, Dmitry, and his son Alexei arrive there. When Dmitry finds out that Grisha is refusing to get the horses ready, he makes Avdej whip Grisha once and says that if the horse isn't ready before his tea is finished, then whip him 100 more times. Grisha couldn't understand at all what was going on. After this, Artem comes and takes Grisha inside the stable, where he tells Artem, "I need to make a call. If I tell my dad about this, he will teach everyone a lesson." But Artem says, "What is this call and all? I don't know anything. Quietly get the horse ready, otherwise you'll get more lashes." Now Grisha doesn't understand anything, so he starts running away from there. Outside there are many villagers, and he starts telling them to call the police. But those people couldn't understand anything about police, etc. While running, he sees that the atmosphere here is exactly like that of an 18th century village, and it seemed like he had arrived in some village in Russia. He tries his best to escape, but finally Avdej catches him. Now for the crime of escaping from this village, Grisha is about to be hanged along with other people. Avdej and some people start taking him away because Grisha has committed the biggest crime of escaping from this village. Now, just as he is about to be hanged, Dmitry's daughter Aglaya arrives there and then tells her father, "Today is my birthday, so no one should be hanged today." So Dmitry, on his daughter's words, pardons Grisha's hanging. Now, an eagle watching all the things happening in this village from above. Then this eagle slowly reaches a house built outside the village, where we find out that this is not an eagle, but a drone. And this entire setup was arranged by Grisha's dad by spending a lot of money to make his son a good person, in which TV producer Annie and her horror movie friend Lev are involved. This was so that Grisha would feel like he is in an 18th century village and is living the life of a servant here. All the people in the village are actors one by one, and hidden cameras are placed in different places, and commands are given to everyone via microphones about what to do. There is also a sniper man here, so that Grisha can be made unconscious immediately if there is any trouble. Meanwhile, Grisha is thinking that perhaps he has time traveled to the past, and now how will he go back? Meanwhile, all the actors are given the script for the next scene, and everyone is told not to wear anything from the modern era. Alexei, who was playing the role of Dmitri's son here, meets his girlfriend Lisa. Lisa was in charge of the horses here, and she didn't have a very big role here. Now Grisha's condition starts getting worse day by day. He has to sleep on the ground and wake up before sunrise. He has to go to the jungle to do bathroom business, and he gets terrible food for breakfast, and if there is any slight indiscipline, he gets whipped. He was very fed up with all this, but what could he do? Meanwhile, one day, while he was sitting in the field, he hears someone crying. Then he sees that Aglaya is crying. Then when he asks, Aglaya tells him that her father wants to marry her to a rich old man. Actually, director Lev's plan was that if Grisha sees a girl's sadness and falls in love with her, then perhaps he could improve. But here, Grisha tells Aglaya, this is a good thing. The old man will die soon, and then you can keep all the wealth. Saying this, he leaves. Now, one day, Grisha steals one of Dmitri's chickens and asks Artem to make soup from it. But after cooking, Grisha eats it all alone and doesn't give anything to Artem. Then when Avdej finds out about the chicken theft, he angrily makes all the servants sit in a line and says, whoever is the chicken thief, come forward. Otherwise, I will take one of you and whip 50 times. After this, he grabs Artem and starts taking him away. But Grisha remains silent even after seeing Artem getting punished for his mistake, even though Artem always helps him like a friend. Later, Artem shows him the whip marks on his back, which were actually made by a makeup artist. But Grisha doesn't give any special reaction even after seeing this. Meanwhile, Lisa arrives there riding a horse, and while dismounting, Grisha's gaze falls on her. Then he realizes that Lisa is wearing modern underwear. Seeing this, Grisha gets suspicious, and he goes and grabs Lisa and starts forcibly checking her. But the villagers catch him and separate him from Lisa. Then Lisa takes the horse and leaves from there. But Grisha didn't know that as soon as his gaze fell, Lisa immediately hid her underwear in a pile of grass. On the other hand, seeing all this, Alexander starts shouting at Lev that because of the mistake of one of his actors, Grisha might find out the truth and the whole project would be ruined. Anyway, there was no improvement in Grisha yet, so Alexander asks to end the project here. But then news comes that Grisha is looking for Lisa to apologize. Although Lisa didn't have a big role in this project, Lev saw a good opportunity in this because if Grisha changes even a little, this project can be continued. So on Lev's command, Lisa goes to him with a stick and tells him to talk from a distance. Grisha apologizes to her and, praising her beauty, asks her name. Hearing this, Lisa smiles and forgives him. Grisha wanted to talk to her more, but she leaves without talking much. After this, it is shown that a big festival is being celebrated in the village, where Artem tells Grisha the significance of this festival. Whoever spends time with someone special to their heart tonight will stay with them for the rest of their life. Now, during the festival, Grisha starts dancing with the villagers. Then Aglaya also comes there and tries to cling to him and says that she will never marry that rich old man, so she is now going to jump into the lake and end her life. But Grisha, without paying attention to her words, goes to talk to Lisa and tells her that he has come here from the future and starts talking about technology. At first, Lisa ignores his words, but when she hears Grisha's talks about loneliness, she starts acting sympathetic and listens to him. Meanwhile, on Lev's command, Artem comes and tells Grisha that Aglaya has gone to the lake to drown. Hearing this, Grisha runs towards the lake and saves Aglaya, who is pretending to drown, and brings her back to the village. Aglaya, according to the command, tries to get romantic with him, but he avoids her and leaves from there and goes searching for Lisa until he reaches her house. Actually, he wanted to spend tonight talking with Lisa, but she refuses and closes the door. When Lev sees that Grisha is interested in Lisa, he decides to include Lisa as an important character in this project. But her boyfriend, Alexei, didn't like this at all. So Lisa explains to him that everyone is here to help make Grisha a better person, and they are also getting paid for all this, so she will do this role. Now, the next day, a new twist is introduced in the story where it is revealed that Alexei went to the city, drank alcohol, and caused a lot of trouble, and badly beat up a policeman there. Therefore, tomorrow, policemen from the city will come to punish him, but the policeman who was beaten doesn't recognize Alexei. So, to save his son from punishment, Dmitri asks Grisha to take this punishment upon himself and promises to give him freedom, good clothes, and good food in return. Hearing this, for his freedom, Grisha agrees to this, and when he gets good food, he saves some for Artem too. Seeing this, Artem becomes very happy. Then the next morning, Grisha is publicly whipped 100 times. On the other hand, Grisha's dad, seeing all this, starts getting worried, but Annie explains to him, like a friend, that sometimes to change a person, one has to go through such situations. Now, after the punishment, Grisha, wearing new clothes, goes to Dmitri's house to talk about his freedom. Alexei is there, who pushes Grisha down and says, "How big of a fool you are to believe so easily that we would really free you," and then spits on him. After that, Grisha stands up angrily to teach him a lesson, but then he leaves without saying anything. Seeing this, Lev and Alexander become very disappointed because they wanted Grisha to fight, if not for someone else, at least for his own rights. After this, Grisha starts working in the stable without any antics, and now he starts spending a lot of time with Lisa, and both start talking a lot. During this, he gradually starts falling in love with Lisa. Then one day, while they are walking together, their gaze falls on that eagle-like drone, which suddenly becomes uncontrolled and starts flying strangely as if it will fall down. But soon the technician controls it and moves it away from that place. Then, to divert Grisha's attention from it, Lisa starts telling him that she has been watching that eagle for a long time, and she believes that the eagle is a goddess protecting her. On the other hand, Alexei and Aglaya are both getting angry about all this. Aglaya is angry that her main role has been taken away and given to Lisa, and Alexei is also troubled seeing his girlfriend Lisa roaming with another man. Now, while talking, both of them get romantic with each other and start jumping around inside a horse carriage, and this was not part of any acting. Just then, Grisha and Lisa, passing by, see them. Then Lisa becomes very sad seeing her boyfriend with Aglaya. After this, when Lev finds out about this, he scolds both of them a lot and angrily throws them out. Meanwhile, to improve Lisa's mood, Grisha decorates the stable with candlelight and specially prepares a special dinner and behaves lovingly in front of Lisa. Both start talking a lot, during which Grisha tells how, despite taking Alexei's punishment upon himself, he didn't get freedom. At that time, he wanted to take revenge on Alexei too, but suddenly he saw himself in Alexei's face. Then he realized that he was just like Alexei, a person who doesn't care about anyone's feelings. Hearing this, Lisa actually gets emotional and, impressed by his humanity and love, starts kissing him, and both become intimate. On the other hand, seeing this scene, Alexander and the entire team become very happy. They feel that finally, Grisha has started to understand his mistakes and has also started to feel love. But during this, a stir occurs in the real world. Aglaya gives an interview on a news channel in which she reveals that the only son of the city's big businessman, Grisha, has been kidnapped, and in the name of acting, he is being taken to an unknown place and tortured. After this interview, the police also issue an official statement that their team will soon go to investigate that place. Hearing this, Alexander panics. He tells Lev that they should immediately shut down this project and everyone should leave from here. Everyone gets worried, but Lev says that it will take time for the police to arrive, and until then, they can do one final scene. He was completely sure that after this last scene, Grisha would completely change. During this, Grisha and Lisa are sitting some distance from the village, talking, where Lisa tells him that if for some reason they have to separate, she will always remember Grisha. Actually, Lisa knew that after this project, she would have to stay away from Grisha, so she wanted to tell him that she had actually started to love him. Meanwhile, Artem arrives there and tells them that Mongols have attacked the village, and if all the people of the village don't reach soon, the Mongols will set the entire village on fire. Grisha, hearing this, gets scared and tells them to leave the village and run away. But when Lisa and Artem head towards the village, he also follows them. Then, upon reaching the village, they see that the Mongol chief orders to capture a beautiful girl from the crowd and take her with him. But that girl's father takes up an axe to save his daughter and clashes with one of the Mongol looters. At first, there is a tremendous fight between the two, but after fighting for a long time, finally he cuts that girl's father's neck in front of everyone, although all this was fake, so that humanity could be completely awakened within Grisha. Now the Mongol chief lets that girl go because her father paid the price of his life to free her. But now he captures Lisa instead. Seeing this, Grisha gets terribly scared. Lisa screams and starts calling Grisha for help. But he, out of fear, starts going towards the stable and stands completely silent in front of the stable. Seeing this, Alexander tells Lev that his plan won't work. He asks to stop all this immediately because the police were about to arrive there. Meanwhile, the sniper man was also ready to make Grisha unconscious. Here, everything comes to a complete halt because this was the final decision. But seeing Grisha's silence, Lev had become confident in him, so he wanted to see until the last moment whether he goes to save Lisa or not. So he flies that eagle-like drone over Grisha to watch his actions. When Grisha sees that eagle, he remembers Lisa's words that the eagle is a goddess protecting him, which makes him think that perhaps the goddess also wants him to go and save Lisa. After this, he goes inside, takes a stick in his hand, mounts a horse, and goes to save her. He reaches those Mongols, attacks them, and then puts Lisa on the horse, and both quickly leave the village. Now, as soon as they leave, on the other hand, the police arrive there and point guns at everyone and start searching for Grisha. Now, because Grisha had gone far from here, Lev, Annie, and Alexander easily convince the police that a film shooting is going on here, and the police also believe them and leave from there. Meanwhile, Grisha and Lisa had gone very far by now. Then when they come out of the jungle, seeing a gas station by the roadside, Grisha is astonished. He couldn't understand what was happening. Lisa is about to tell him everything when, from behind, Lev's sniper man comes and shoots him, making him unconscious. Now, in the next scene, Grisha is shown standing near his car, where his dad's voice echoes in his ears that he had been in a coma for the past 3 months. When he asked about that village and Lisa, they reacted as if they didn't know anything. After this, Grisha tries to return to his old life, but now he is not at all interested in parties and clubs as before. Where he used to have fun for hours before, now everything seems useless to him. Then he goes to meet that policeman whom he had dragged to the hospital with his car. He goes to him and apologizes for his mistake and gifts his luxury car to him. Then, between the policeman's surprise and happiness, he leaves from there. Then one day, during the evening, when Grisha was in a club, his gaze falls on Alexei and Aglaya, so he quickly goes to them and asks about Lisa. But Alexei and Aglaya also react as if they have never seen Grisha before. This made Grisha start to believe that perhaps all this was a dream that he saw while in a coma. So he apologizes and starts to leave, but then both of them, seeing his condition, tell him everything, after which they take him with them to a horse shelter. Then Grisha quickly goes inside, and finally, Lisa becomes visible to him. Lisa is also surprised to see him, and her heartbeats increase. Grisha asks her, "Was what you said in the village true?" Then Lisa also answers yes and starts kissing him. After this, Grisha brings Lisa with him to his dad and Annie's wedding, where he congratulates them on their wedding and hugs his dad and says thank you because he will never forget what they have endured to make him a better person. Now, at the end of the story, it is shown that exactly like this, another rich brat is being taken to be hanged after beating him. And this time, too, everything is exactly the same drama, where the village landlord this time is Grisha. And with this, the story ends right here. So friends, I hope you really like this story.